we've got the most electrifying guy in all of sports, not just pickleball, Tyson McGuffin.
The energy of this guy is contagious. He's one of the few people who truly does seem larger than life, yet when you meet him, he's down to earth. The most impressive aspect of his career is what he and his team have built from a brand perspective. The professional career, the YouTube channel, the signature camps, and the brand and endorsement deals. I consider him an OG of the game, and while many people in his shoes would let their foot off the gas, he's continued to revolutionize his look and brand. You never really know what to expect next from this guy. He's one of those people who makes it seem like he's found a way to have more than 24 hours in a day. Dude, I've always been curious how, like, if I looked at anyone and I looked at like how they handle their business, their career, dude, you've outdone everyone.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Like the YouTube, the clinics, like everyone always talks about your clinics, and then you have like the apparel. Like when I was like looking at your stuff, like with Skechers, like, dude, who else has brought in like another entity that is not pickleball based and then brought them into the sport and then like built them up? Yeah. Do you have anything beyond the shoes that's signature? Like, do you have like apparel?
So it's coming. It's coming.
Really?
And just to you know, talk about maybe a little glimpse of it. I'm gonna play with. They're gonna be 5.5 shorts to 7-inch shorts.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't do the 7s, dude. 7's too much. The 5.5.
Hey, 5.5
we want to show some.
right?
Show
it's gonna show some liner. We're gonna have some fun colors. We're gonna bring in my logo with the fashion line as well. The tops are gonna be a mixture of Henleys, tank tops, and just crew shirts. And yeah, man, I've always been a big fan of fashion, and yeah, like one of my main things with going with Skechers was, hey, like when I come in, I want to be able to like show my personality. I want to be able to like play with the aesthetics with my shoes. I was a huge fan of like the splash outsole. I think the splash outsole totally just makes the shoe come to life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I may have gotten encouraged by like a Nike shoe or like an Asics or like an Adidas. I kind of had that same splash outsole, but yeah, no, Skechers has been great with me since day one. Kind of a fun story, like right when I signed with Skechers, it was like a bomb got dropped off on our front door. And literally there was like, so we have 4 kids, we live in North Idaho, right? We're on 5 acres, and so on our front porch, literally, there's boxes and boxes, and it's kid light-up shoes, and it's kid clothing, and it's leggings for my wife, and they totally just decked us out. So it was super cool. I've been to their headquarters multiple times in Manhattan Beach. And got to see all the different shoe rooms and stuff like that. They've done a great job with lifestyle shoes. Obviously, they've been #1 in run forever.
Hope you're enjoying the video so far. I've got to do this ad really quick because I've got to keep these lights on somehow. So let me take a moment to talk to you about BreadNButter. BreadNButter, let's see. We have the Filth. I used this paddle for like 6 months, which is very rare because I've not been able to stick with one paddle for that long in a very long time. And here is the white. This was very popular. And then here's the Loco. You can see I use this as well. I weighted it up. That's their control. The Filth is their power paddle. They also have 2 other paddles that are coming out. The Fat Boy, which I'm really excited for. I think the merch looks amazing. And I like a wide face paddle. And then the second is a Samurai, which I think comes out this Saturday. So Doug, the founder, gave me this code that gets you 25% off your order. The caveat is that it can only be used 10 times. So the first 10 people that use it get it. BP25B.
So yeah, so Skechers has been #1 in run forever, #1 in golf as well. Recently, they really just dove into performance. So they're making a tennis shoe that hasn't come out yet. They're also making they've made a basketball shoe. Snoop Dogg is one of their brand ambassadors. So Snoop's got his full line. I wear all the Snoop Dogg shoes.
You want to collab with Snoop?
Come on, come on, Snoop. I'm your guy, baby. And Snoop apparently has got a court in his backyard.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. And even better, so these are the Viper Court Pros. Snoop made his own version of the Viper Court Pros, and instead of the Skechers S, he's got his Snoop S, or like his Snoop logo. It's hard as could be.
Damn. Yeah. Dude, you guys like single-handedly revived that brand. I don't know where it's been, but it's always like a kid's shoe or something like that.
It's been a 60-plus shoe. Yeah. It's been a 10 and under kid shoe. Skechers is sneaky, man. They are.
Apparently they've been like number 3 like largest shoe
Yeah,
brand.
they
And I was like,
do well in sales. Over in Europe too, they have a lot more trendier shoes that are similar to like a good-looking shoe that you would buy from like a bigger brand, if you know what I mean. And yeah, honestly, they've been great with me. They're diving into performance. They're starting to make a bunch of fun performance gear as well, tracksuits and stuff that just the younger generation wants to buy, right?
Yeah.
So no, I've been happy with them since day one. We actually just re-signed for 2 more years.
oh damn.
Yep. We're coming out with more colors as well. Released the pinks. Catherine and I kind of showcased last year. The pinks are coming out here very, very soon. And I can't mention this, but there is a collaboration shoe that was a big hit last year that nobody could buy, and that collaboration shoe is going to be coming to you very, very soon as well. But anyhow, they're all about showing different colors, and they're big on just being loud with the shoes, and that kind of represents my brand. And with this new fashion line coming out, you bet your ass that there's going to be some color to it as well.
Oh yeah, that's dope, man. Dude, I've always been like just curious about the business side for you.
Yeah.
Like with everything you got going on, if you were to like create like a pie chart, you got your camps,
Right.
you got your pro career, you have your Skechers deal, you have your JOOLA deal, you have Miller Lite. Like what makes up like majority of the pie and
Yeah,
all
of
that?
course. So brand endorsement wise, we have Skechers, we have JOOLA, we have Turn-A-Grip, we have Beamer, which is like a recovery device, we have Duper, we have Rain. Rain is owned by Monster, we have Miller Lite. So I think if there's one area we excel, we crush in the brand endorsement area. Why? I've been so consistent with content since 2018. We've spent a lot of money through the YouTube channel. We probably have 150 free educational videos on YouTube. We have a podcast called The McGuffin Show, and we kind of used just getting aggressive with content and being consistent with it, with putting it on socials 5 days a week and blasting it on YouTube to build me up and to get brands to kind of see me in like a different light, make me marketable. Obviously, anytime that I'm on championship court, my end goal is to get W's and to bring home a big old bag and bring home some hardware. But also too, I think the entertainment side, just being a loud personality out there, having some fun, right? Having some fun, getting the crowd going, stuff like that goes a long ways, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many tennis players that are coming in the sport of pickleball, and I just wanted to be the one that had a lot of personality and just kind of had some fun with it. And I think brands can obviously see that. But yeah, I would say top of the pyramid is probably brand endorsements, player pay, camps, and then content. So, but we kind of use the free content, which is now brought in some brand deals, right? We kind of use the free content as a nucleus to get people to sign up for camps, right? Kyle McKenzie, K-Mac, baby, right?
You just assigned him as your
Come get McKenzie, okay? you can get McGuffin or you can get K-Mac, baby, right? K-Mac all day. Who doesn't like to hear that freaking angel voice on the mic, right?
Yeah, dude.
Guy's a stud, man, total stud. So, story about K-Mac and I was a director of tennis and pickleball at a club in Spokane, Washington. K-Mac was a Seattle guy. He just moved to Spokane. And kind of a funny story. So he showed up at my club, was a member at my club, said he was a 5-0 player, and wanted to train. And at that time, I had no idea who K-Mac was, and he's told the story countless times in camps and during camper dinners and all that, but I kind of shrugged him off that very first time. I'm like, no, this guy can't be all that good. Like, I'm not gonna play with you. And then 2 weeks later, I think I saw him play in like a men's league, and he had some game, and then from then on, like we started training together. And then once I just started picking his brain, he's a ex-poker guy, played professional poker back in the day. He's analytical as all hell. He's tactical as could be, and he can just talk the talk. He's a true salesman at heart. So literally, after I've taught tennis for 10 or 15 years and worked with some pretty high-level pros out there. And in 2019, I was working for Level Up Pickleball Camps, which is owned by the Pickleball magazine. And I was like the director there and doing 40 camps a year and just totally burnt out. But I thought it'd be a good idea to bring Kyle under me as like an assistant pro. And literally the very first camp that he taught, like he'd been playing pickleball for a year and a half. It was his first camp. During group discussion, like he was freaking solid and I mean, didn't skip, I mean, just like it was like he was meant for it, right?
Yeah.
And right then and there, I'm like, this guy is so dialed. Like, he had no anxiety in front of a big group. He was also great with like individual, working with like individual people. And yeah, he just had like the full package, and that was freaking day one. Right then and there, I'm like, I'm gonna use this guy for a very long time.
Yeah.
So over COVID hit. I'm sitting on my couch there in North Idaho, thinking, what in the heck am I gonna do for a couple months? Obviously, play stopped, the world stopped, and all the above. And K-Mac and I were training at like a private court. So I ended up contacting a videographer that was with Selkirk at the time, and we ended up meeting at this private court, and we spent like 2 weeks just banging out a bunch of educational
Dude, those
videos.
backyard videos were the best.
Yeah, right.
Kiss the baby.
Kiss the baby. Right? Peck her down, kiss that baby. So K-Mac and I literally just dove in for weeks and cranked out 150 educational videos. And I was a little prideful early on. I'm like, maybe I should go pay-based portal and do like subscription-based and make people pay for the content and all the above. And then I'm looking at my social following, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even that cool yet. Like, I'm not big enough to make people pay for content. Why not start my own camp business, do it as a way where I can put Kyle in all the videos, build him up, and bring him onto the camp business, and then I could slowly wean off, and I guarantee if we got enough subscribers on YouTube, it could build Kyle up where he could basically just lead the camp business.
Yeah.
Now here we are, 4 years later, rocking and rolling. K-Mac has done a wide range of things in the sport, and I'm not saying I take full credit for that. He's done plenty, but the YouTube channel really built him up, built up his platform, made people see Kyle.
What's up? He's a commentator too. Dude, when he commentates, it's great.
Commentates for PPA, commentates for MLP, coached Washington, D.C. last year, won an MLP title, kicked our ass in the semis, and runs 30 camps a year for me, and I've taken a big step back.
Damn.
So I run about 5 camps a year, Kyle does about 30, and this year really I've taken a step in the direction of the sport's getting younger, I'm only getting older, teeth are getting wider, and it just made sense that I bring Kyle on full time as my coach, right? Like, if anybody knows my game super well, K-Mac and I have spent like so many hours in practice together in various scenarios and stuff like that. So, and Kyle knows my psyche and all the above, and now we're best friends and business partners. And so for the last couple tournaments, K-Mac's been in my corner. Obviously, I asked Deckel and I asked Megan DeZahn if that was okay if Kyle was in our corner. They said, yeah, we totally respect that guy and think he's very knowledgeable and think he's great for the sport, and he could do a lot, for us in mixed or a lot for us in men's. And so K-Mac is the man. He actually moved back to Seattle, so he's not in my neck of the woods anymore. But
okay.
Yeah. But Kyle has 4 kids, just like myself. I'm youngest of 7. Kyle's also youngest of 7.
Damn.
And so a lot in common there. Truly love that man. He's done a lot for me, and so just happy to have him on board.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, when I think about your kids, like when I think about the brand deals, I always joke around with people on the podcast. I'm like, dude, of course he's getting like a brand deal with Skechers. He's like these fat deals because dude's got like 6 kids. He's got like a wife to feed. Dude, it's crazy. I'm like, you gotta bring the money in, right?
No, my wife.
Dude, she's awesome.
She's like the real hero. I mean, she's like the real entrepreneur. She used to own a water bottling business and took it from 5 employees to about 25. Recently, just sold it. And so now she kind of manages all my departments. So we have a camp administrator, we have a full content team, we have 3 editors, we have a social media strategist, we have an SEO strategist for YouTube and all the above. So she manages content department, she manages my agent, she manages the camps. And when we're on the road, we usually take 2 babies. We have 4 kids, two older that are in school full time, so tough to take them throughout the school year, but the babies can come with us. So anytime we're on the road, now we're bringing our full-time videographer. We just started a new YouTube channel called Making McGuffins.
Dude. That Baja video?
Come on, that thing hits, right? That thing hits. I mean, honestly, after seeing that bad boy, who doesn't want to come to Baja,
dude,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, it
let me tell you McGuffin camps, dude.
So, funny story about that. So my wife and I got married in Los Briles back in 2019. Her family has lived there for like the last 10 years. It's a badass little small town, man. Some of the best authentic Mexican food you'll ever have. Anyhow, so we just started this YouTube channel called Making McGuffins, and as we know, there's a lot of content creators out there now that are making, that are doing podcasts, that are doing educational videos. It seems like everybody and their freaking grandkids are doing it. So I felt like I was kind of the first big push to get that going, which really helped out in the brand side and really helped people kind of see me through a more like intimate scope, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so if there's one thing that nobody's doing in the industry, they're not doing high production vlogs. And I'm a big UFC guy. There's a lot of UFC fighters that are doing these vlogs.
Those countdown videos too. And
yeah,
stuff.
oh yeah, right.
Embedded.
Yeah,
videos?
for sure. I watch every single embedded leading up to Saturday, and pay-per-view can gladly take my money, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously these UFC fighters, some are making good money. Others, Dana's, you know, holding the dough back. Yeah, come on, Dana, pay these guys more, right? It's crazy, bro. Like the difference in boxing money compared to UFC. Francis Ngannou, like he just made 20 mil fighting Anthony Joshua, right? Got knocked out in the second round, nice and early.
I'll take the knockout. For
right.
Right.
And his last UFC fight against Cyril Gain, he made like 900,000.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's not even comparable.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
Anyhow, so. Just seeing these fighters and seeing other content creators and seeing other families do these vlogs in the most simplest way on YouTube, and how many subscribers they're getting, and just how much engagement they're getting, it made sense to kind of go that direction. My 3 pillars as a brand is me as an athlete, me as a dad, me as a coach. So yeah, I just thought it was a good way to showcase myself in that light, really kind of showcase the kids, build up my wife's platform, and just bring some different eyeballs into the sport.
You have a good personality too, though. Like people are curious about like what you do, what that lifestyle's like. Like in the Making McGuffins, you guys like show working out with like John May.
John May and Craig.
Stallion Performance.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's not a whole lot of high level play in North Idaho, so something I've been kind of dealing with the last 5, actually honestly, since 2016, like my whole career, I've never really had top 10 high level guys around me. So something that we're known to do at our spot in North Idaho. We're on 5 acres. We have a little side house. So we'll fly guys up, shove them in the side house, and we'll get up bright and early, 5 a.m., do a morning session, yoga after, go see Craig, and then come back in the afternoon, bang out another session, and call it a day, and wake up and do it again.
Yeah, I remember in your like old videos, dude, you had that one chick, I think her name was like Bethany. You were just wailing the ball at her. She's like trying to block. And then there's an older guy like Bill or something.
Jim.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
You guys had some good games in the backyard, like in the sunlight and stuff. I remember he's like you were like doing attacking games and stuff. Yeah, those games are great, dude.
So funny story about Jim. So for the longest time, you know, with me not having a whole lot of high level people in my area, Jim's a 4'5", he's about 65 years old. I call him Practice Jimmy. Okay, so Practice Jimmy, this guy was such a stud, right? We would show up at Selkirk's indoor private court, you know, for the longest time. We'd show up at like 6 a.m. and we'd do an hour training, half court. It was never competitive play, so it was always like drilling based. And then I would literally just crank out ball machine drills for an hour. And guess what Jimmy would do? This guy's so nice. He would pick up balls for me for an hour and just keep that machine going. Yeah, nicest guy. So from 6 to 7, I would give him some tips and all that, and do some drills and kind of work with him a little bit. And then that next hour was just all ball machine stuff, and I would just like try to burn the gas tank, you know, get as much cardio in as I could. And so when I started cranking out educational videos and K-Mac wasn't around, you knew who I called.
Dude, he was with you in the early
Jimmy.
days.
And Jimmy's got a nice little game.
Yeah.
He's got a nice little backhand punch. Yeah, for sure.
And here's my second ad for this brand. If you've been following this channel, you've listened to this so many times, but let me tell you about 3 things that I love about Vuori. 1, as a sponsor, they've been awesome to work with. They've been incredibly supportive and super, super cool. I think they're just good human beings. 2, I love the clothing. Let's see. Right now, I'm wearing the Strato Tech Tee, and here are the core shorts. I actually played at PPA Houston this past weekend, and I was decked out in all Vuori. Super comfortable to play with. They even have the liner in the core shorts. If you don't like the liner, then use the Banks shorts. They have the 5-inch seam and a 7. I love a 5. Love to show some thigh. As you can tell in this interview, I talk about it with Tyson. And the third thing is they try to be eco-friendly. They're based out of California. Sometimes they use recycled materials. They try to reduce their carbon footprint. It's all things that I love in supporting a brand. If you like the sound of that, go over to vuori.com/buildingpickleball and you will get 20% off your first order. And they do free shipping on orders of $75 or more. And they also do free returns. Super awesome. That was solid.
Yeah.
So you've gone from like Selkirk, who you were with for 8 years, and now you're with JOOLA. I mean, like, damn. I remember when the announcement it was nearing that.
Yeah.
Federico had posted something. He commented on one of the posts, was like, "Wonder where you're going."
Right.
And everyone's like, "Okay, now
people knew, right?
Yeah.
Right. And not gonna lie, you know, Jimmy and Tyler, who are my best friends, Jimmy and Tyler on their podcast, King of the Court, had mentioned multiple times that I was going to JOOLA. I think Thomas Shields on the Pickleball podcast had mentioned that as well. So I try to keep it a secret, but yeah, you know, probably honestly one of the scariest moves in my life was being so comfortable with Selkirk, them building me up, us being great friends, being in each other's backyards, and having to make the move to JOOLA. But I truly believed in JOOLA's vision. I believed in the engineering. I thought I could be a good add-on.
Yeah.
And I never thought that Ben and I would be on the same team. But you know, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Simple as that. And also too, I think, you know, one of the key factors was they took care of me, and I could add in my camps and add in the podcast, and they were all very supportive. And coming in, I got to make my own signature paddle right away. And yeah, man, honestly, they've been great. They're adding more to their content team. They're starting to really like up the production level with their content. They're telling better stories. And you know, if there's one area that I've always been keen in, it's like being able to tell my stories and make it authentic through content.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What do you have planned for this year? Like, what are you, like, some of the goals you have? Because you said, like, the McGuffin camps, you've, like, kind of given a larger share of that to K-Mac.
Yep.
And then, you know, you have, like, the vlog that's coming out.
Yep.
Of course, you're still performing at the top, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, just the end goal, honestly, is just to, you know, keep giving back to the sport. I'm known to do PPA clinics for kids, do a bunch of free kid stuff. Give back to the sport that's given so much to me. You know, met my wife playing pickleball back in 2018, and yeah, I think it's just to stay relevant, like as long as I can. You know, like the money's just starting to get good. I'm starting to like really sign on some big sharky brand deals, and so my end goal is to like be relevant for as long as I can, be supportive to the people that have supported me, like my brands, like my family, like my team. And just keep taking heads off and keep being the entertainer that I can on championship court. And I only have one time to do this. I'm only getting older, you know. So, and I think something for me is just to like enjoy the process. You know, for the longest time, I always put so much anxiety on myself about rankings and brackets.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got to do this, I got to do that, and it's like, I don't know. I've already made it to a certain degree. Like I'm in a very good position in life, you know. So I've just got to enjoy what I'm doing. And yeah, like I was mentioning, you know, something I've done differently this year is I've upped the fitness. Not gonna lie, I've been clean and sober now for like 18 or 19 weeks. So I'm just getting super dialed mentally, getting dialed physically, getting my body cleaned up. Awesome. I have a full-time therapist. I have a full-time health team that does all my lab work every couple months. So yeah, I've just kind of like enhanced my whole package and kept the inner circle tight. And but yeah, so showing up at tournaments now, we have our full-time videographer. I have my strength and conditioning coach, Craig. Call him Quadzilla, if you know what I mean. Craig was an ex-MMA guy, ex-wrestler back in the day. I bring K-Mac, and yes, we have this full team now. And I can't tell you how, and obviously my wife and the kids, I can't tell you how nice it is to like know that I'm playing for something bigger than me too. Like just that message alone takes so much pressure off of athletes when you're doing for something bigger. And yeah, been more spiritual and all the above, and just feel like I have more resources around me, and I'm letting those resources in versus like trying to do it yourself. You know, it's not freaking worth it.
Dude, you've embodied like what it means to make a brand as an athlete. Dude, like everything, all the channels that you talked about of like revenue streams, but also like how to build up and market yourself, and the persona that you give off, and like the way you give back to the community, and like the way you aren't shy to talk about like your wife and your family and how much support they bring to you, and like how it's not like just all about you. Like you're not shy at all about giving credit where credit's due.
Yeah, for sure. Dope. And I think honestly, like one of the biggest devils as an athlete is like ego, right?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of times where I have ego, and I walk in the house and my wife tells me to shrink my head back down, go back outside, and come back in, baby, because you are nobody here. You are a nobody, right? And honestly,
go do those dishes.
You ain't shit here. Honestly, having that. Yeah, just having a female like that, or having people around you that can obviously build you up, but like keep you sane and keep you honest, goes a long ways in life.
That's dope.
And kids as well, you know.
Yeah.
But no, man, love what I do. The industry is in a super cool spot right now. Pumped to be on this journey with JOOLA. The whole Skechers thing is getting much more global as well. I was just on Necker Island this last weekend, and there's some people from India there that are big ambassadors and big investors there in India, and they were saying that in all the Indian Skechers stores, like I'm on the glass, or I'm on like the front cover as like you walk in. So pretty cool. So Skechers is doing a very good job of like pushing me on global. So yeah, just like I want to be with brands that are really like pushing or moving the needle, pushing it globally, and you know, keeping me front and center.
Dude, last question, because I'm like obsessed with the way you handle business. What like one piece of advice would you say like has held true for you or been foundational for like how you approach business?
Yeah, for sure. I think trust the people around you. Don't try to do it yourself. I've gained so much knowledge off of entrepreneurs, off of my team. My wife's been a big contributing factor as well. Yeah, I think if you're in the athlete business, like staying true to content, being authentic with your content, and yeah, just like believing in your resources, you know, goes a very long ways.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Dope to meet you. I had
Appreciate
your
you.
Invicta.
Like your style too, bro.
Oh, dude, literally.
Tuck those socks in.
People are like, yo, is that Tyson? I was like, dude, chill.
Too funny.
Yeah, I had your